Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Coffee in Hand. I'm your host, Eric Lamberto. And today, my guest is John Latini. He is the creative lead at C&D Advertising and also one of my close friends. John, I'm so excited to have you on the podcast today.
To be here. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. And before we get into it, I do have to say, I don't know if everyone has seen the latest issue of Mohawk Valley Living magazine, but we had the honor of being featured on the cover, and John was our photographer. So I'm just gonna little shout out to him for taking these beautiful pictures for us. Obviously, we really appreciate that you were a part of that with us.
Yeah.
And I think the pictures turned out amazing.
Yeah, it was a
Like
lot of
you have
fun.
like a lot of skill with, seeing how to, tweak things.
Yeah.
And
A little bit of composition goes in there.
yeah,
Without going with an idea, but we were able to collaborate with Carrie. She was awesome, super
yeah,
helpful on the shoot, and it was a lot of fun.
yeah.
It was a lot of fun. Also, I knew the secret before everybody else did, so that was a lot of fun for me. I love holding, those little secrets that nobody knows about. So that was fun.
Yeah, so me and Bryce decided that we were gonna just keep that to ourselves. We were not gonna share with our team, our family.
Yeah.
And we were like trying to keep it under wraps, which is like really hard to do
Sure.
because, just in normal conversation or in
Yeah.
passing, especially like if Carrie came in here and we're
Right.
like, she's like showing us some sneak peeks and I'm like, my staff is right there and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, everyone's gonna know.
But they were all surprised though?
Yes,
Okay, good.
yes. So it was
Yeah.
we did. We, like, were able to
Yeah.
surprise Bryce's parents,
Right.
like,
Which was
FaceTime them.
Yeah.
All of our team, like, it took them a minute to realize, I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, what's this? Like,
Right.
wait, are you guys on the cover?"
Right.
Which is really cool because when me and Bryce got the phone call about it, we didn't even know that was,
Yeah.
like, an opportunity for us. So it's just really
Well, I just want to say too, I know this is your thing, but I mean, it's well deserved from you guys. You guys have been open for 5 years. It's just an unbelievable business. You know how I feel about you guys. It's just such hard workers, great people in the community, and I think everyone's just every time I drive by, the place is packed. It just puts a smile on my face. So we're happy to have you guys come back to the area, and it's been awesome. So happy to see you guys' success too. So
yeah, thank you.
yeah,
I
yeah,
appreciate
it's been awesome.
So I want to get into kind of how you got your start in advertising and just kind of if you want to talk about like your history and just kind of what got you to where you are today.
Yeah, well, it all started at birth. No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. No, but actually,
Shout out the womb.
yes, I had a camera in my hand. No, actually, it's funny. It's a good question, and I think just for a moment though, I do want to dip back for one sec to high school because prior to this instance, I actually had never really been into anything art or creative. I was mostly, into athletics, sports, that kind of stuff. But for 1 year of my life, I actually moved to Long Island. My family and I moved down there to help out some family. And I went to a small school out there. And in that school, there was actually really good art program, and a dark room. And the art teacher there quite literally bullied me into taking photography. I was just scared to death. The whole dark room experience, all those things just frightened me. But she forced me to do it. And it kind of changed my life forever. I fell in love with it. Being in the dark room, taking photos, it was just something that I instantly connected with. So I can't help but, bring that up because I feel like that 1 year of my life sort of changed everything right there. It was just kind of weird. And I actually moved back to New Hartford the following year and finished my senior year. So it was just my junior year of high school. It kind of shaped that whole future for me. So it was really interesting. I ended up going to MV for photography, where just such a great program. If you have a specific art trade or something that you're interested in, that 2 year that community school really taught me so much that I needed to know. Really made me fall in love with it even more, and was able to secure an internship right from there. Worked locally for a fairly large safety and industrial company in their advertising department. I learned so much there. It was like a crash course. Basically, it was my master's in advertising and photography and design, and sort of set the stage there for me. So continued on with photography for a while, was in a couple of ad agencies, worked for some tech space, healthcare spaces, And then it kind of brought me up to where I am now, which is where I landed as at a full service ad agency, which is C&D advertising. So I have been there for, I think, almost 4 years. It's been going awesome. It's been going great. We have just been, just have really great clients. We have just such a steady workflow, and it's just been awesome. The founder of the company is George Carpenter. He found it with his partner at the time, Barry Damsky. So it's C&D, which is Carpenter and Damsky originally. And they founded that, I think, around 28 years ago or so. So shout out to George Carpenter. He's the guy on the radio that you've probably heard from, anything from To Hands or any of that, really like kind of steadfast in that, in the, commercial space. He's been around forever doing it. He's just a great guy. And then Jen Berlante is the president there. She's been working there for a long time and took it over, and has really expanded things as far as our services go. So we're a completely full service ad agency. We do design, we do photography, we do video, we do social media, we do digital paid design, we do website work. We kind of are, everything, billboards, you name it. So that's kind of where I've been for the last 4 years. It's been awesome, and, we just kinda keep growing, and it's been really good, so that's where I'm at right now.
It's really cool too because you said how initially you felt like you were kinda, like, bullied into the,
Yeah,
photography, and it's cool though because it seems like sometimes in your life when you're, like, outside of your comfort zone,
yeah,
it's like it can change the
yeah,
trajectory of your life, like, you don't realize sometimes, like, maybe there's something you're afraid to try or something that you're
for
like, "Oh,
sure.
yeah,
Yeah,
you, like, are just like it's just that to get that, like, first step of just trying something new, and you
right.
might surprise yourself, and it's just cool that it worked out.
I was terrified,
Yeah.
absolutely terrified, because there was people who were doing it for a long time, and you could tell that they knew what they were doing, and for me to step in to do something like that, I would never have done it if it weren't for her. So she was one of those art teachers that would have, like, the overalls on,
Mhm.
sort of, like, pull up in a VW bug or something like that with a foul mouth kind of, she really shaped my life. It was awesome. She was a really, shout Miss Ackerson in Hampton Bays. So she was my art teacher to kind of get things kicked off for me. So
Yeah,
yeah, it was
that's
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
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 So what is your favorite part of content creation, or, like, what's, like, an average, you know, day in the life
Mm.
of
John at Sheen Advertising. Oh man, that's a great question too. So the coolest thing I think about what I do is the just the there's quite literally never one day that's the same. We have such a
Gosh.
Yeah, it's fresh all the time. We're constantly shooting production, client meetings, new client meetings, onboarding. I think the coolest thing about it is the variety of partnerships and clients that we do have. So we have a big clientele of non-for-profits. So when it comes to non-for-profits, right, it's storytelling, it's helping spread the word, it's helping people out, it's hearing people's stories who have been helped by these non-for-profits. The neighborhood center is one of them. It helps so many people in the community. It's so awesome that one day you'll be sitting there doing maybe a testimonial or working with yeah, a client, case where you're working with a case management worker, and they're telling how that story impacted, how that how the neighborhood center has impacted their lives, and it's just so powerful to be there. And then the next day, you could be shooting sandwiches, for a client, and it's, totally different, and you get to bring home the food with you, which is
Yeah.
awesome,
Yes,
so
you're like
that's
perk
yeah,
of the
right.
job,
So
right?
that's one of the best things,
Yes.
is that, but no, we've been in some really, really funny situations. So, Cameron Sanborn is, the videographer at C&D, and him and I kinda work very closely together. We've been on a ton of projects together, and, we have some pretty funny stories, some pretty awesome stories, and, I know one day, we were doing I guess, a recruitment video for a local police force, and we were trying to get some B-roll. So, it was 5 minute, 3 to 5 minute video. You kinda have to, maybe stage a little bit to get
Right.
everything real. You don't wanna be following them on their, crime investigative units. So we kinda had to set up some, B-roll to get some of the film shot, and so the police officer staged a crime scene, uh, out in front of one of these local businesses, and so there was, the yellow,
Oh, the tape?
well, the tape was up,
Yeah.
and they had the what is it when they have, like, a piece of evidence, they have, like, the marker or
Oh,
whatever?
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
I know, what are those called?
I don't know,
Yeah.
like, evidence markers or something?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So
We
they
clearly watch a lot of
yeah,
crime
yeah.
TV.
So they were setting it up, and they had, like, a fake gun and, like, a knife and, all this stuff, and so we're shooting, not thinking much about it, and a guy pulls up, and he's just frantic, has, like, the craziest look on his face. He's like, "Is everything alright?" We're like, "Oh," he's like, "I own the business right across the street." He's like, "I drove," we're, like, thinking about, like, how funny that
Oh
was, and
my
it's like
gosh, yeah.
he's like, "Oh my god, I pulled up, there's lights flashing everywhere, there's a crime scene unit out
Oh
there."
my gosh.
Just shooting some B-roll, So,
You're like,
uh
"It's just for TV."
yeah, "Don't worry, sir."
Yeah.
So it was funny, and then, we were actually able to do some, I think it was a, like, overview video, an explainer video for, Oneida County, the Waste Authority.
Okay.
So, in the middle of the summer, Cam and I are in this, absolutely I don't know if you've ever been down to the Waste Authority, but
No,
I mean,
that.
it is a large operation going on there. And, to get behind the scenes and see something like that is just so awesome. It kind of gives you a whole new appreciation for kind of behind the scenes and how things are run. And it's just really fascinating. They have AI robots down there that are sorting, and it's just incredible. So, you kinda get a little bit of something different every single day. And then obviously, Water Safari's been a long time partner of C&D as well, and I mean, I don't have to say much more about that. We're up there shooting for them all the time,
Yeah.
and it's just a lot of fun. We were shooting some drone stuff last year, and so we're on one of these water rides, and the lines are long, middle of summer,
Yeah.
and,
Peak time.
time, and we're in the parks, and we've got our cameras, and we've got our gear, so obviously we're standing out a little bit.
Mhm.
And, there's this, Cam has a POV drone, so he's got the goggles on. If you've
Mhm.
ever seen that or not.
No, I haven't.
Okay, so you're
Yeah.
kind of like in your own,
World?
yeah,
Yeah.
and here's the kid waiting to go on the water slide, and he's tapping him, like kind of the kid from Home Alone.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like, "Hey, mister," and he's talking to him, asking him all these questions while he's like flying the drone and stuff. So it's just like a lot of fun to kind of be out there and interacting with, the public and with our clients. And there's just really never a dull day. It's just always something different. So, and
Which is
yeah, I
awesome.
mean, like I said, you go from, you know, telling really impactful, powerful
Mhm.
stories to creating sometimes complete silly nonsense and
Yes.
having fun and like, wow, this is our job.
But it's also, like, meaningful in both ways because, like, if you're helping take pictures of sandwiches, it's like
Oh yeah, no,
helping
yeah,
a business,
yeah,
get their product or service out
right,
there and hopefully, like, spread the word,
right,
get them, create more awareness for their brand, and then obviously too, like, working with the not-for-profits,
yeah,
like you were saying, that's incredible to be able to highlight them and
absolutely,
spotlight and show how they're making a difference in the community. It's
yeah.
like there's so many great organizations and businesses
So many,
here,
yes.
like, just in the Utica, New Hartford area.
And I guess when I say, nonsense and silliness, I guess I have a
Yeah,
specific thing in mind where it
yeah.
was, Crust,
Yes,
which is on the back of that magazine.
yes.
They're also a
Hold on.
wonderful client of ours there.
It is?
Yes. Um,
I'm just gonna be the hand model as well,
yeah,
this
so you can
issue.
see so we just shot a commercial for them where they're coming to Utica, and the
Yeah.
silly and nonsense of them is we were smashing a typical sandwich, like a white bread sandwich. And
Yes,
so that's the
right.
the part where you're like, "I can't believe this is what we're getting to do."
Yes.
And they're wanting us to do that. So, it's a lot of fun. There's really, really never a, dull day there. So, yeah.
Yeah. Any, upcoming projects or anything in the works that you want to share or can share?
Yeah, sure. Oh, that's a good question.
Well, I guess we kind of just talked about one of them because the crust, yeah,
Yes, yes.
coming to
Cross coming to
yes.
Utica, fantastic. So exciting. That's so exciting for them. I think it's gonna be awesome. I think it's gonna fit really well within the area, and add just a little bit more, options, and they offer different things that other people don't, and I think it'll just kind of make a really good, sort of fit into the downtown area. Just keep adding more to the city. I think it's just never a bad thing. So,
Absolutely. I think anytime, like, any more, like, small businesses are added, it just adds to the community,
sure.
and it's like, again, like, having small businesses gives back to the community and just as a whole, um, I think is always a great
Yeah.
addition.
Yeah. And then another one was back in November. I went down to Orlando to a conference called IAPA. So that is a international amusement park, just absolutely ginormous conference. And that was on behalf of Water Safari. So they're having a brand new children's roller coaster put in this year. And it was actually being featured. The actual roller coaster that they had built is down at the show, and they wanted us to go grab content for it. So, had
You're
to
like,
had to tough it down and go down to Orlando with my wife for the weekend, and it was just an amazing experience. And to get to highlight that new project for them, and really kind of see where they're going with things. I mean, they're really expanding and progressing, and there's a whole world, I think, out there of potential in the amusement park sort of entertainment space, national side of it for us, and I think that's super exciting, and it's exciting for them as well. And there's just a lot of possibilities there. So I think helping them promote that this year is going to be awesome for them. I think people are going to love that ride. I got to ride it, obviously, and I was actually really impressed by how thrilling it was for the space. So
yeah,
it was cool.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
That's, like, one thing that is, like, not
That's not your speed?
I enjoy is,
Yeah.
like, the road I mean, I've tried.
Yeah.
I really did. I've gone to, like, Cedar Point, all kinds of
Yeah. Well, I would yeah, so it's not I
yeah.
think but your kids will probably drag you on this one a couple times, so
Yeah,
more scaled
probably
down,
I'll
but
have
it's a
to,
lot of
like,
fun.
tough it out a little bit
Yeah.
once they
Yeah.
get old enough.
Yeah, for sure. But no, that is, I think, very exciting. I'm always, I think anyone who's been around this area a long time just has a love for water safari, and I'm one of those people. So it's awesome that you get to work with
Yeah.
partners and clients with like that you've grown up with and sort of have that that love for. So I love what they're doing there. They keep expanding and offering new and exciting things. So that's going to be a really fun project to highlight for them as well this year. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah. And on a more of a, I guess, too, I was thinking about is on a personal level, um, business wise, C&D actually, we created a whole production studio in our first floor of our place.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, it's been awesome. So, product photography, we've shot a lot of green screen
Yes.
videography there. We have a sound booth there, so we're doing
Okay.
voiceovers and all those things for our commercials and our clients. It's
It's great.
it's nice because
So I need to come in. I've always wanted to try to be a voice actor. I do all kinds
oh
of
my god,
accents. The girls here know when I'm, like, have had a long day, all of a sudden, I'll just be, like, speaking in a British accent, Southern,
okay.
they're like, "Okay."
Hey, that's what we do. When you work for a small agency too, you have to get creative. You have to roll up your sleeves sometimes, which is why I'm almost positive that everyone who works there has been on a voiceover at one point or another.
Yeah.
So, we roll up our sleeves and do what we have to do. So I'm going to hold you to that now. So,
Side gig for me.
okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right, good.
Super
Because
excited
we're always looking for some
for
new
that
voice talent.
opportunity.
So yeah, no, it's really exciting. I think, Jen puts a lot of um faith in us, and she is, backs us up really well and allows us to kind of go and be creative,
Yeah.
and she's, always doing that. What can we do for you guys to, expand and make your jobs better and make them easier? And, having that available to clients is really a nice offering. So
Well, I think that's awesome because I feel like most businesses, they either, like, are hiring someone to help with their social media, or not everyone has that experience or knows how to work with, like, all the different platforms that are out there. So having a resource and an agency that they can work with and trust to help, like, build their brand and build
yes.
their image
Yeah. And
is really helpful.
I think the cool thing too, again, I think I may have sort of touched upon it in the beginning, is the full service level that we offer. So everything sort of ties in really nice. When you talk about campaigns, we love a full sort of a blast of a campaign, right? Billboards, TV, paid social. So like, YouTube and all those streaming services. Yeah.
Facebook.
We have a digital marketing guru, so to speak.
Mhm.
She's Jen Martin. She's so talented at understanding, Google and Google ads and all those things at work that, you know, go over my head a little bit. I make the things pretty for her.
Like, I will say that that side of it is more complicated
Yeah.
because even when I was working for Palms and I was
Yes.
an interactive marketing manager, and I would do all of their website email marketing. I would help
Yeah.
with social, but we had someone specifically who would do like the Google
Yes.
placement ads, and it can be
Yeah.
very complicated. You do have to have
Right.
some background knowledge. It is like a different.
And it's changing
Yes, and
so
it
much.
constantly is
Like,
changing and evolving, and
so she's always on top of that, and it's I think from a standpoint of, I love creating and building and making things, but it's nice when people on the back end also know where to go and what to do with it. And so it's a really a great team. We have account managers who meet with the clients regular basis. They come back, they tell us what we need and what they need, and we work with them. So it's a really good sort of system that we have set up there where everyone has, specific roles, but we also have a hand in other things as well. And it's nice to see it work, from graphic designers. We have Foster Fahey, who's been in the industry, I think, since I don't know if it was the 1500s or the 1600s. No, we give him a hard time.
he's
He's a legend.
he's
Yeah,
ancient.
no, but he's an absolute legend in the design world. He's so talented. I've known him pretty much my whole career, and it's great to get to work with him. And we just have a bunch of talented people on the team, so it's awesome.
And then you guys are also hiring right now, right?
We are, which is always a good thing. Yeah. So we obviously have felt the need to expand our social media team for a while now, and this felt like the right time to do it. So we've kind of put our feelers out there for expanding our social media team, which is super exciting. We're going to have somebody be able to go around to our clients and give them more of a consistent product. And I think that's going to be awesome because we know how fast social media is moving.
Yes.
We know how much people want to be posting on social medias. I know you guys know. I'm sure you go back and forth with it all the time. Where it's like it's really hard, I think, for small businesses, any scale business, really, to be constantly posting and staying on top of that.
Right.
And so I think that's where we really do a good job of. We're super organized the way that we kind of lay out everyone's calendars and schedules, and I think bringing in a content creator is going to give us a little bit more.
Also creates a content calendar,
Yes.
which is helpful with the consistency,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah, and just kind of going in a sort of, a cycle to just going to clients and getting content, on a
Mhm.
constant basis is, it's a whole new world where it's super needed. So,
Mhm.
so we're excited about that. I mean, I think it's going to be awesome. And yeah, we're kind of going up,
Yeah,
it's the only place to go, so we've been,
very
yeah,
exciting.
been doing it. And, yeah, it's good. We're going in some good spots and it's exciting. So,
And if someone was interested in applying for a position,
yeah.
what would be the best way for them to go about it? Like, if is it featured on the website, or is there a specific contact at your company who they could reach out to?
Yeah, so our website, is always a great place to reach out. We're all available on our website, and also LinkedIn we're on right now as far as that job hiring goes. So, there's another possibility, but, yeah, we're just, Facebook, Instagram, we're so connected with
Mhm.
everything, like, just find us,
Yeah.
We've had
Awesome.
people stop in. It's a good feeling, when
Yeah.
people actually are, like, knocking on
Show
your
up
door and
with a
dropping, yeah,
resume.
so
Yeah.
it's been really good. I mean, I think we're doing some of the right things, so it's exciting. Yeah.
And obviously, we're both parents. We have our kids actually are in the same grade.
Yes.
And then your middle and
Yes.
my youngest are going to be
In the
the
same,
same grade,
yeah,
which is awesome.
that's awesome.
How do you feel like I mean, there's not like a perfect balance, so I say this, but how do you feel like you balance or go about balancing like work
Yes.
and life as a parent?
So, you know,
I'm laughing because
it's
it's like it's such a loaded question.
yeah,
Yeah.
I will say this, and this is the truth. C&D and Jen Berlante, also
Mhm.
a mom, parent, a business owner. She is so good about making sure that my family comes first all the time, on top of working hard and all that stuff. She's never um made it seem that I have to put anything first other than my family. So she affords that that huge balance for my wife and I to make sure that we're there for our kids. I've been on several chaperone trips for the kids. I get to that
Yep.
insight there, which is the coolest. They're always looking for dads, just so you know.
Yes.
So it's a good angle.
Shout out to any dads at Hughes.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So that's a huge help right there. But I really try to, once the day's over, it's hard when you're in social media too to kind of put the phone down a little bit. But
Right.
I have make sure that I get that few hours at the end of the day where we're kind of all doing something together and having fun. And then as soon as they're in bed, I'm kind of back on my phone and scrolling, for good though.
Yeah.
A lot of people say it's doom scrolling. I don't have that problem.
Yeah.
My algorithm is set up just really
Yeah,
wonderfully.
perfect.
I love it. I love it. Got the occasional pizza in there. I've
Yeah.
got right now it's just streaming with Justin Bieber from the Grammys because I
Sure,
just oh
shirtless
god, I mean
Bieber.
it's just as far
Like, replicating that,
yeah, that's
Or
hilarious. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. So I love trends. I always find them funny. I love how creative people are on the internet. I mean, I think it's such a beautiful place to display talent
Yes.
and humor and all these things. So, I kind of, my wife and I are next to each other in bed at night and kind of doing that, but I'm doing it for good.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
it's yeah, so
Also, like, speaking of your wife,
yeah.
like, we obviously this moms communicate via, like, reels.
Yes.
We just that's what we do.
Yeah.
End of the day, we're, like, scrolling through reels and we're like, "Oh my god," like,
Yeah.
laughing,
This
and
yes.
like, just send it
Yeah.
to, like, our best friend.
Yes.
Like, they just get it.
Yeah.
Just get it.
Right. Like
You know?
it's like a new form of communication for sure. I love that. And I think that's true because when you see something that you connect with, humorous,
Yeah.
seriousness, whatever, yeah.
Relate to that,
You
like,
feel seen.
you
You feel, like this is I'm not alone. My God, I
Mhm.
can't like there's this one right now for parents, which is the Tony box. I don't know if do you guys have a Tony box?
I know oh, no, I know what they are.
Okay.
I've looked at them a couple times. I'm like, "Should we, like"
Okay, so
I've looked at it around, yeah, Christmas
yeah,
time,
they're great.
holidays. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Is this something I should"
But they're gonna leave it on there. They're gonna leave the thing on there and it's
Oh,
gonna play. So if you're overstimulated and the Tony box is on, it's like
yeah.
it pushes you over the edge. So you kind of just knock off the thing that makes it play,
Yeah,
you
and
know?
you're like
And apparently we're not alone because other parents are experiencing the same thing. I've been seeing a lot of those reels lately where it's
because I actually saw I think Courtney
did you say
just
yes.
reposted it, and
Did she?
I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's hilarious," and then I thought to myself, "Maybe I shouldn't
Yeah.
look at getting one of those."
Yeah. I it's
Yeah.
it's, gift and a curse. So,
Yes.
but yeah, it's just fun when you can relate to somebody on social media and you say, "Oh my god, I have to send this to so and so because they would get it." So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, what's your favorite thing to do when you're not working? I'm assuming, like, obviously with your family,
Yes.
be
Yeah.
involved in some way.
So, if it's just me or, Courtney and we're hanging out, we love movies. We're big movie buffs. We're big show buffs. There's music playing in our house, quite literally from the moment we wake up in the morning, we're making breakfast to when we go to bed at night. So that's something that her and I like to really do. But as a family, it's just anything really, hanging out. Oh, I'm a big e-bike
Oh, yeah.
yeah, yes, as you've seen me buzzing around
Yes.
town on my e-bike, I have a cargo e-bike that I put the kids on,
Mhm.
and it's awesome, we love that,
Yeah.
it's so much fun, I mean, when nicer weather gets back, so we're looking forward to
Mhm.
doing that again, but
We're, like, all dreaming of
yeah.
warm
Oh,
weather as we're about to get, like, a really
yeah.
chilly
Yeah.
weekend ahead again.
Gonna do
Just, like,
yeah. I'm like, "You know what?"
really all dreaming of spring.
I know, and I'm like, "I'm sorry I said what I said about you, summer."
Yes.
I always get
Like, "I'm so over summer, I'm ready for fall."
yeah, and I'm sorry.
Winter comes
Yeah,
way too quick, and
yeah,
it did come early this
yeah.
year, and then it just has really stayed with us,
It's
you know?
yes, it's been a winter to remember,
Yes,
so yeah.
definitely.
But yeah, we're looking forward to, we like to travel, take whether it's something small, short, we go to Albany quite a bit. That's where Courtney's family is originally from. So just anything like that, we're kind of low key. The kids are super into music. I know you guys are as well. So,
Yeah.
sometimes just putting on a record and stuff and just kind of hanging out is the best thing to do.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. I was gonna say for us too, that's like music is definitely a part of like our everyday. It's
yeah.
like
Well, you
a
guys are
mood
so,
booster.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're so talented with music and Esley's,
Thank you.
I know I've never heard Bryce sing before, but I can't imagine it's great. So, but
Yeah, for those like listening that aren't familiar, I used to dabble in singing. Not,
eh,
you know,
You're a singer.
Allow me to sing,
You're a
maybe,
singer.
but, you know.
And your daughter's turning into a singer too. I don't know if I'm putting her on blast or not, but
Yeah.
she's very talented as
No,
well.
thank
So
you.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And before I let you go,
Yeah.
what is your go-to coffee drink?
Go-to coffee drink. Okay, this is a good one. Um, so my go-to is generally anything pistachio flavored. If it's just a regular coffee, put a little pistachio in there, I'm good to go. Pistachio latte from Calabria is probably my favorite. Um, and other than, I'm, like, kind of boring when it comes to that, but I will say this too. What makes me think of that is my favorite coffees, and I'm gonna give you those right now. So it's, fir the first coffee in the morning before anyone else is up. That's a great
Yeah.
coffee, right?
The best.
Okay.
If you can secure it without
Without being
any seconds later.
yes, yeah, but, like, if it's just you and it's
Yep.
quiet in the morning, that's a great coffee. Your first coffee on vacation coffee is a top tier coffee,
Mhm.
right? Um, let's see, Christmas morning coffee, great coffee, right?
That's a great
That's a great
coffee.
coffee.
Yeah.
And, maybe one of your first, like, like a latte or something in the fall is probably
Mhm.
and
Like
that
that first, like,
yeah,
pumpkin
crispy mo
spice
yeah,
latte, like,
when you know you're
with
right.
the leaves
Yeah,
changing and,
I'm a sucker
you
for
know,
that.
falling. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, give me some pumpkins, let's go apple picking, let's do all that. I think we still have apples left over from when we went,
Oh, yeah.
you know,
Yeah, you're like
it's
a
the yeah,
full garage.
it's the climb,
Mhm.
it's the journey.
Yes.
So, yeah,
No, that's awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming on here today. I was so excited
I
to
d
be able to, like, share a little bit
yeah,
of your story
thank you.
and about your company you
Yeah,
work for.
yeah.
Anything else with them? Anything, did you wanna share, like, social media? I know you mentioned, some of the platforms. Anything else you wanna plug with them and their social media?
No, I mean, give us a follow on
Yeah.
social media. I have a lot of handles going through my head all the time, so
Yes.
to be it's the old saying where it's like the shoemaker's kids never
Yeah.
have shoes. Kenzie Dishman is our sort of, the one on our team who handles our social media. She does an awesome job with it, because quite frankly, I don't think I've ever actually personally posted anything to our page, but she keeps the flow going, which I think is super impressive
Yes.
because as an ad agency, like, it's always like our website needs work.
Right.
Our,
You're more focused on
on
your
our clients.
clients.
Yeah,
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 so you're like, that's like
right.
the second
Yeah, even
second thing to come along.
Cam and I were talking, last week. I'm like, we did so many amazing videos last year. I'm
Yeah.
like, we should put together like an actual reel
Yes.
of our work.
Yeah, that would
He's
be a
like, yeah,
great
let's do
idea.
that. I'm like,
I know.
well, when
But
you're
it's
not
like,
ready,
then you gotta
yeah,
find the time to
yeah, we're
actually
working on client stuff. So
yes.
we'll get there. We'll get there. But yeah, check us out. We have our website. It's just, C&D advertising. And we're on social media on Facebook, Instagram. I think we're probably in the yellow pages still.
Yeah.
If you get one of
Grab
those. Yeah.
them, guys, they still exist.
Coming back. Probably the Gen Z is going to bring
Oh
back
my
the
gosh.
baseball people.
I love to. I don't know. I'm gonna go, like, a little left here, but I don't know if you've seen, but they have, like, the retro phones you can
Yes.
get for your kids now that connect to the Wi-Fi.
Yes.
I'm all about this.
So awesome.
I think I might actually get my, niece, her
Yeah.
birthday's coming up, and they live in Michigan, and
Yeah.
they like to talk on the phone. Usually, they'll FaceTime, but I was thinking, how cool would it be if they both had a landline,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they had
Bring
the
it back.
traditional, phone that they could grab in their room and then pick up the phone and call each other and catch up whenever they want. I'm like, that would be so special for
Yeah.
them.
That
I
would
think
be
it's
great.
such a cute concept.
What a feeling. That was such a great feeling as kids growing up and having when
Yes.
your somebody called you on your
Oh,
house
it was
phone.
like the most
Yeah.
exciting although, when we used to have to call, it was like we
The
first of
ring.
all, we had everyone's phone numbers memorized,
Yeah.
and if we didn't, we had, like, illegit like, yeah, a book with, like, phone numbers written down, but you would always have to call, and either their parent or someone else would answer, and you'd literally have to ask them, "Hi, is Mandy home?"
Yeah. It's awesome.
"It's Erica." And they're like, "Yes, hold on,
Yeah.
dear.
Yeah.
Hold on a moment."
We actually had my grandmother lived with us for 1 year when I was in junior high. My grandfather had surgery and they had to stay with us for a year, and it was like, junior high, 7th, 8th grade, pivotal time.
Yes.
I remember I was talking on the phone with a girl, and my grandmother picked up on the other line,
You're like, "Grandma."
she was like, calling me by, my all the closest people know
Like,
me. I'm
the
John
nickname?
Michael,
Yes.
but people in school didn't know that, and she was giving me one of those on the phone.
Yeah.
So, it's
Go.
yeah. I want to use the phone. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. So kids need to feel that
No
again.
money. Yes,
That's
that,
what they
like,
need to feel.
embarrassment.
Yeah. So
No, it's all good. Well, yeah, thank you again
Hey,
so much.
cheers.
This was so much fun. Yes,
Thank you so
coffee and
much.
tea.
Yes, coffee in a hand. Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
cheers.
Had to take a sip. We can't do a cheers without a sip.
Good sip. Good sip too.
It was a good sip.
Pistachio.
Pistachio, I did hazelnut.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
And thank you everyone so much for listening, and we'll catch you next month.